Welcome everybody to the International Days at the Han University of Applied Science. We are today in the session about Movement for Movement, the Erasmus Plus Vanguard project by Anne Gates. Unfortunately still, Anne Gates is ill, though we will take the honors. At least we try to take the honors of Anne. We've been on a journey for 3 days with the Movement for Movement resources and tried to go into a little bit deeper level. So the thing that we tried to do up to now, I will guide you a little bit. Wait, I have to go. Yeah, I will share some screen with you. And then I can show where we were. We went into something is an interdisciplinary learning for health and well-being. And we went on a journey to see what kind of future drives the ill health and inactivity and immobility concerning premature mortality will drive us through. Now we can say, oh, Joost, are you going to go through the whole PowerPoint again? No, I'm not. So I'm going to the last one. No, I'm not going to the last one. So I'm stop sharing. And I'm going, I will show a little bit where we actually had the assignments that we had, or that Anne presented to us. We have been on day 1. We have been a review of the plenaries of P1 to P4 in a slideshow mode only. Probably, or hopefully, most of you have done it, and you did some quiz concerning the implementation. As we know from this group, who is present here, they identified an area of change, agency for physical activity that they could lead on. So they took it down. Yesterday, we talked a little bit more about what kind of methodology. So that was kind of the challenge, to find a methodology. Because most of the time what happens when we start with this kind of things, we got a splendid idea, maybe a little bit associative, and then you just start to go on. But then we sometimes just forget there's a little bit of evidence behind it. So what kind of underpinnings do we have? What's the evidence saying? So it's gonna give us a little bit more directions. Especially WHO has been very terrific in the Global Action Plan for Physical Activity and all the physical activity guidelines to help us with some guidance. Well, the Movement for Movement resources from Erasmus Plus really provide some extra help, and also to find a methodology which makes it more applicable to it. So for today, for today, what strengthened shared knowledge and skills can you identify? So we can see what is actually happening and present the project to the cohort for peer review on day 3. So today we will have a peer review session. Well, I'm very glad that we have a team here of upcoming healthcare professionals who will do the honors and who will present their work. And we have some peers here of upcoming healthcare professionals and some exercise physiologists by means of Samantha, Max, Hanneke and me, who will try to give a feedback and help you to value what's been done. So I would give the word to the project group. Please, project group.
Should we just present our idea? Okay, well, we had the idea of random dancing. We made a poster for it, so maybe I can share my screen so that you can all see the poster. Let me see. Can you see it? Okay, we had the idea of random dancing to introduce a sort of button, if you like, which someone can press every hour, every half hour, every 2 hours, in which we have to go and do some random dancing. We got the task to also find some evidence, like why would we do it? So we searched for some evidence, and we saw that when you are actively engaging with exercise, that it's better, because sitting is the new smoking, we found on the internet. So we want to get people up from their chairs and just exercising, doing things, moving. It doesn't really have to be exercise, just standing up is enough. So we saw that 15% relative mortality risk reduction with 15 minutes activity per day. And the longer you exercise, the more this percentage increases. So the more reason to stand up and do some dancing. As well as every contact counts and everyone can participate. So nobody can say, I can't dance or I can't participate, because you can. Everyone can move an arm, a leg, a head, a shoulder, I don't know. So everyone can move, and that's the main goal. It also influences your mood and emotional plus mental well-being, because if you participate with people that you like, if you just move, everyone gets happy, everyone starts to smile. So eventually you'll also feel better. And for that, every minute counts. Every day when you are behind your desk working, your brain takes in information, but after like half an hour, you cannot take in more information. So if you then stand up, do a dance, and after that, start going behind your computer and work again, you can take in new information, so you'll be more efficient. That was our main idea. At the bottom of the poster, you'll see a few sources from which we got our evidence. And that is basically, that's it.
Oh, wonderful. I really think this is a beautiful thing. This sounds really good. Samantha.
This makes me smile and I'm not even moving.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, I think it's a really great idea. I was just wondering though, you were talking about a button you could press. Are you talking about installing a real big button with music, or what was the idea behind it?
That was the idea, but it proved a little difficult to do that, like in Teams. So in Delta, when we're just empty after a busy day or after an activity and we don't have a lot of energy anymore, we just start to dance randomly, and that helps. So you really only need one person to start to initiate the dancing, and the rest will join in, and you see immediately you will start to see people enjoying it, laughing, smiling, and just being together, just dancing. And that was the main point.
All right, clear.
Basically the same as with what Joost told about the TED Talk, that just one person is the crazy one. If one person starts dancing and the rest, there's one other person who also starts dancing, then the rest will follow eventually.
Wonderful. I think that this is a great way of looking upon it. So you really start a movement, and as a movement for movement, maybe being take the initiative. That's also what I hear you say. So don't wait the other ones start moving, but the moment you feel like it, happen to go, start in, see how it goes, and move along. This is really great. I was wondering, does any one of you have still some questions of the team?
Yeah, I think I have a question. Where will we implicate all this? How can we promote this? How can we bring this all over the world for the Movement for Movement Challenge?
Well, we can start right here, right now. So we can just say random dancing. And then even kijken. I can share my screen. Even kijken of niet.
Nee, je bent geen host trouwens, denk ik.
Kan ik dat niet? Oh.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Oh, I'm trying. Oh, yes. And now can we start dancing? Doe even mee dansen. Ik wil dansen. Heel veel dansen. Dat is leuk.
YouTube.
Even kijken, hoe ga ik dit weer stoppen?
Wonderful. So I really think that this is an excellent example of having created an initiative for movement. You took an item. So if we go back, you planned an effective strategy of methodology. Well, at least it helps online already with this group to start moving and to perform the dance. And I'm definitely for sure that you have found the evidence to make it worthwhile and to put it into practice. I hope for all of you who are now watching on the YouTube stream that you have a little bit of a guidance, an idea from what can you do, and also that it is able and that you are able to make something in 48 hours. So it doesn't have to take a long time. You just have to start doing it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with Joost, and I think it's a very good idea to just come up with these things. And I have one question for you, though. Have you guys come up with all types of different dances, or is it just any type of dance is okay? Or do you have different types of music for different types of styles of dances? How did you guys think about that?
We didn't really think about that. But what we discussed is that, of course, we can start with Just Dance because it's a new concept and not everyone knows what to do. So if you start with Just Dance, you can just copy it. And after a while, people know the idea. So you can just say random dancing or random moving, and you can put on a song and everyone can just move whatever they like, whatever they want. Yeah, like that. So that way we can also make it more fun for after a few weeks, because probably after a few weeks, everyone thinks like, damn it, another Just Dance. I don't really want that. But then we can just say random moving, and then we can start random moving, and that's fine as well.
I like it. Random moving. Nice.
And I think it's really funny you started out with One Direction. I mean, yay.
Childhood memories.
It's great to see how you start with a movement with, in this case, dancing, and then go to movement in a more broader way. And it's also great because in the new guidelines, 2020 guidelines, it's what you mentioned, every minute counts. So every moment of movement counts on your physical activity duration of the day. And I think we can get a lot of small moments of movement. It's a hard combination, moment and movement.
Yeah, and I also think that what we talked about yesterday, that the things that we like to do, combining that with movement, so doing things that you actually enjoy, I think this puts a smile on everybody's face, and everybody likes to move randomly or dance. So I think this is one of the best ways to get in that daily activity and get those 30 minutes. So really good idea. I like it. And it's also, I love the fact that you included mental health, because dancing, brings joy. Everybody feels good. And it's also an important thing right now in the current state of the corona pandemic that we, take into account mental health. So you guys, I think you guys nailed it. Very, very good. Thank you.
And could you implement this in a way where you can participate when you're alone? So we're now in the lockdown, all in our own room. Is this a button, an online button, or really a button where you are in one room and one person is starting to move? How is that difference? Did you thought about that?
Well, the button was more of a concept, an ideal, but like we did now, we just all started dancing on different screens in different areas of the building of Nijmegen, wherever we are. And still people were moving, laughing, and just because Danique put on a music video, Just Dance. So I think even when contacting online like this on our own teams, that we can do it. Will have an impact.
If I may add, I think I have an idea. what if you make a website, like a platform, everybody can just make an account or just enter your email address. You make a big red button. You can just press the button randomly and it sends emails out or WhatsApp or messages to random people, and they have to dance when they get a message. Is that an idea?
That's a great idea.
Yes.
That's a great
Yes.
idea.
And we also thought of maybe after a while putting a challenge of it, because you have a lot of songs, and if you maybe start with Just Dance 1 and you say like at the end of the week you have to have the first 5 dances songs, you have done it, and you make a movie of it and you show it, then it's like you also have a goal of reaching a certain amount of dances in the week.
Yeah, sounds good.
And then the challenge: how far can you get in the world?
Let's create a hashtag.
Random dancing.
Okay, again.
So I guess that you nailed it, and I think this is really great. We will send it on to Anne, and I hope, Anne, that this will help you to feel a little bit better, and it will strengthen give you back your power for a little bit. We will continue with our work and with your work, and hope to see you soon. For all of you who have also made something, you can always send it to us. Our emails from me and Hanneke are on the website, so you can send it to us. We will send it out in international media or social media and send your ideas forward. You're always welcome to contact with us or with Anne. Looking forward to hear something from you. And for now, a warm applause for those 5 trainers. Well done. Yeah. Great. Thank you all.